Good morning, Yeshua.
Good morning.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the warm welcome. I always feel very special when I come to this class. Now, today we are learning a new chapter. We started chapter 4, lesson 1. Okay? The lesson is today rational numbers. So this is all new to us. So I want you to focus on pay attention. Learning objective. By the end of this lesson, everybody in this class should be able to do this. I can divide rational numbers and convert fractions to decimals, equivalent and using division. Right, so what is a rational number? Rational number is, we write here, rational number is any number that can be written as a fraction. Like here, A over B, where A and B are integers, and B can never be equal to 0. That's what it is, okay? So let's have a look at an example. If I have a number, and I give you to write it as an integer, for example, rational number. If I have minus 5, can you write that number as a fraction? Yes, you can. Any number can be written as a fraction by just dividing it by 1. So this will be same as minus 5 or negative 5 over 1. We are allowed to just put 1 underneath it. So this is now, because it's a rational number, we can write it as a fraction. Okay? So any number could be written as a fraction by just dividing 1 underneath. So we could also be given a decimal, and that decimal should be written as a fraction. So for instance, if I give you negative 0.5, can we change this number into fraction? This is a decimal. How do we change this into fraction? Go ahead.
Okay.
What will you do, Sophia?
Can I divide it by no? Can I divide it by 1?
Yes. If a number have got, remember we talked about this. You look how many decimals are there. If it's 1 decimal, it's divided by 10. If it's 2 decimals, it's divided by 100. If it's 3 decimal, it's divided by what? 1000. Correct. So this is because it's 1 decimal, it means it's divided by 10. So if we change this into fraction, this will become 5 over what? 10. Does that make sense? Yes? And then because now we have a fraction, we can simplify it. How do we simplify fraction? We divide both sides with the same number. So what number can we divide both sides? 5. So if I divide here by 5, I have to divide here by 5, sir?
Yes.
And remember, we still have a negative here. So if I divide here by 5, I will get 1. And 5 divided by 5 is 1. 10 divided by 5 is what? 2. And remember, we have negative. So we just change 0.5 into what?
Fraction.
Into fraction. So we have to be able to change a decimal into fraction, and we have to be able to change fractions into decimal. Okay? Like for instance, if we now have the fraction of 0.2, can we change this fraction, this decimal, into fraction? Anyone?
Yes.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Can I go to
Okay, you can change by using how many decimals are there. First of all, can you tell me how many decimals are there? 1. So what do I have to divide?
10.
10, exactly. So I will write the 2 and I will divide by 10. Are you with me, girls?
Yes.
You don't understand. So divide by 10. If the number have got 1 decimal, this means divide by 10. That's why I write the 2, ignore the 0, and put the 10 here. Because 2 divided by 10 is 0.2. You guys get that?
Yeah.
Alright. So now we can simplify this by dividing both sides by 2. If I divide here by 2, I can divide here by 2. We already have a fraction, but all we have to do is divide by and simplify, and this will give us 1 over 5. So 0.2 as a fraction, as a decimal, it becomes as a fraction 1 over 5. You guys get that?
Yes.
Okay, let's do just one more example. We can also change, if it's a percentage, we can change it as a decimal and then as a fraction. So if I give you 28%, how many of you can change this into fractions?
Division.
Fraction. You have to change it to fraction.
You have to divide it by
100, exactly. Remember, percent means 100. It means divide by 100. So all you have to do is write down and say 28 divide by 100. Okay? So this is now, we have this as a fraction. So as a fraction, if we want, we can simplify. Okay? How do we simplify this? We can divide by 2, then by 2, by 2, unless we can no longer simplify. So if I divide here by 2, and I divide here by 2, this will give me what? 14 over 50. Can I simplify more? Yes. Divide by 2 again. So this will give me 7 over what?
7
Over 25. So this is my simple fraction. I simplify the fraction. But what about as a decimal? If I have a decimal, if I have a percent, I can easily change into decimal. So 28 over 100 will just become like move the decimal twice. So this will be 0.28. So this is as a decimal. Right? So any given number should be able to be changed by decimal, fraction, and then if you want by percentage. Yes?
I didn't understand anything. I didn't understand the percentage.
Okay, so the percentage, let me repeat this for you. 28% means 28 divided by 100. So number divided by 100, you can move the decimal twice backward. So this becomes 0.28. And this is as a fraction, simplification will become 7 over 25. Okay? So we will have one number as a decimal, as a fraction, and as a percentage. So it should be easily to be able to change numbers into decimal and fraction. Right. So the other thing that I want you to understand is there will be two kinds of fractions. Some fractions are called terminating fractions. So that basically they will stop when we divide. Like for example, 1 over 2. When we change it, it will become 0.5. But there are some fractions when we change that will not stop, and they call repeating or reoccurring decimals. Let's use an example of that. If I now give you, 1 over 3, can we change that into decimal? Let's do it together. So decimal means we need to divide the numerator to the denominator. So the 1 will go inside and the 3 will go outside. And we have to divide that. How many 3's goes into 1?
0.
We put 0 there. And then we have to put 0 there. And then we say we have to start with decimal. How many 3's goes into 10? 3. So we have to put 3 here. Okay, and then we say 3 times 3?
9.
9. So we put a 9 here and we have to take away. What's 10 take away 9? 1. So we have 1 here. Now again we continue because we don't have 0 here. So how many 3's are in 1? 0. We have to add 0 again here. Then we say how many 3's are in 10? 3 again. So we'll have 3 again. And then we multiply, we have 9. Again, the process will be repeated. Right? The process will be repeated. And if we carry on we will have 3, 3, 3 carry on and on and on and on. It will never stop. This is why we call it recurring decimal or repeating decimal. So to make sure that we don't have to write all 3, 3 all day, there's a short that you have to write down. I said, so this 0.333 will be written like 0.3, and then there will be a little line on top. Some people put their little dot, but this is same as repeating numbers. So as long as you see that little line, dot on the top, this have to remind you this decimal is repeating decimal. Okay? It's not terminating. Terminating means it will stop. It will just stop like this one. But repeating will be, this one will keep going on and on and on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You guys get that?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, let me just write. Can you now write down 1/40 and find out, is this repeating or terminating decimal? You want to try that? Yes, so let's do it. Let's see, write down and see what should we do. What should we do here? What's my first step?
You have to do the fraction.
You have to divide. You have to divide the numerator to the denominator. So we have to write down like this one. Which number goes inside? 1 goes inside. And the denominator will go outside. We have 40. Are you with me, girls? Good. So you ask yourself, how many 40s are in 1? 0. So you have to put 0 here. Okay? And then we put 0 there. And then we have to put decimal. Again, you say, how many 40s are in 10? 0. So then you have to put another 0 there. And when we put 0 there, we have to put another 0 here. Are you following this? Now you say, how many 40 goes into, how many 40s are into 100? 2. So we put 2 there. So 2 times 40 will give us what?
80.
We have 80 there. And then we minus that. What is 100 minus 80?
20.
So we put the 20 here now. Okay? So 20 is too small. So we put another what? 0. So now we ask, how many 40s are in 200? You sure? 5. So we have 5 here. Okay? So 5 times 40 will be what? 200, right? Are you all happy with that? So when we take away, we have 0 now. We can stop. So our answer to this will be, this number is terminating decimal. It will stop. We don't need to write again and again because we'll end up 0 here. So the answer to this will be, we have 0.025. So this is terminating decimal. So we write, this is terminating decimal, but this is the overhead. This is repeating decimal. Do you guys understand the difference?
Yes.
Yes? So you will be asked questions like, if you need to write down this number, is it terminating or is it repeating numbers? So let's just practice some of those questions. Can you girls just open page 183, please? We need to open page 183, and we will practice some of those questions in the book. So everybody go on that, and then I will come around and check how everybody's doing, and if there's any question, we will go on that. Okay? Are you guys happy about that? Before we stop, any question? Anybody have any question?
Listen.
Yes.
How do we identify which question do we do long division and which one?
Every fraction, when you are changing it into decimal, you have to divide the numerator into denominator. Okay? Only after you divide it, then you find out if the number is repeating decimal or terminating decimal. Does that make sense? Alright girls, thank you very much. Any more questions?
No.
Thank you. So can you all say subscribe, share,